أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وأما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المتين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فألهمها فجورها وتقواها صدق الله العلي العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I wanted to get together with you guys this evening to make sure that we don't let Muharram pass by without us paying attention to it. Because it's so easy, like when the masjid is closed, that we're not there, the TV's playing. I mean, we as younger people, we got lives to live, right? I'm not as young as you guys, but still. We got lives to live. You don't got time to keep up on what day of the month and who's it, what's it, and we're not going to the masjid and there's no notifications and the decorations haven't changed and all these things are going on. And there's a pandemic. But we have to take some time, since Muharram has begun, to talk about Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. So I've chosen a little topic for us to talk about. It's useful. Not just for people like us, like people your age, myself, but also older people who are at a more advanced age of life. And so we'll try to walk that balance in the discussion that we're going to have. The topic of our discussion is man's innate inclination towards spirituality. I know that's a big title. Sumaya, you know what that whole sentence means? Man's innate inclination to spirituality, what it means?
No.
Huh? It's okay, it's a lot of big words. Easy to understand what it means. Huh? Human beings have what some people have called a God gene inside of them. That something inside of them naturally desires, wants spiritual fulfillment, quote unquote, right? And you can see that, like from the dawn of time, human beings have always worshipped a god, right? Even like cavemen buried their cave deceased people in a specific way, showing that they believed in an afterlife. They believed in a god, right? There's something in the human being that makes him crave and want and be thirsty for, meaning and purpose in his life. So you dig what I'm saying now, what I'm talking about? Innate just means natural, like inside of us. You dig what I'm saying? Khair. Let's move along. That's the title. There's a global movement going on towards spirituality. You know what I mean by spirituality? Do you know what I mean by spirituality? Spirituality means like religion. When we talk about religion, we might be talking about this religion or that religion, but we're talking about spirituality. We're not talking about this religion or that religion right now. You understand what I'm saying? We're talking about spirituality. There's a global movement towards, quote unquote, religion, quote unquote, spirituality, quote unquote, those things having to do with God and the world that is unseen, right? Now, we might not see it. We might not recognize it because in our day-to-day life, we're kind of in tune with that too. You know, Baba's always talking about it. We make salat. We have certain beliefs, right? But we might not see what other people, what their reaction, what's going on in the rest of the world. Maybe not even in the county around us, right? But in reality, there's a global movement towards spirituality. And we can look at it and we can see it in some of the statistics and some of the data that I'll read to you, right? That we'll go over the next few nights. Like, it's so clear, we don't even have to like try to prove it. But we're going to go through a little bit of a discussion to talk about how every human being wants, needs, desires, longs for that spiritual connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and with the world unseen. You dig what I'm saying? Khair. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So, people are seeking meaning, purpose in their life. They want to understand, what is life all about? And how do we do life? And they're so thirsty for this type of meaning, then you see that even certain cults, strange religions, even certain types of psychic business, you all see them on the street when we're driving, right? You'll see like psychics reading your future. They can tell your future by reading your palm or doing tarot cards. They advertise it. You see the places, don't you? Yeah. Because people are so thirsty for answers, for meaning, for purpose in their life, that even we see these things happening. It's not just like religion, quote unquote. It's not just like Islam or Christianity or Judaism. There's a lot of things going on, aren't there? That's to show you that people naturally have this inclination, this desire. They naturally want that. Like, the thirst is so intense. People want that so much, right? That they'll easily accept fake spirituality, fake religion, fake ideas about God and about the world unseen. You understand what I'm trying to say? People want it so much. It's so natural for them to desire that, to want it, to go after it. Then they'll accept even fake ideas of spirituality or connection with the divine, or what is meaning, what is purpose in life, what gives my life meaning and purpose. You dig what I'm saying? So they can get fooled. And I mean, like we just mentioned, psychics, right? And fortune tellers. Let's be honest. If you go to somebody, can they really tell the future by reading your palm? No, really, let's be honest. They put the what do they call it? The horoscope in the newspaper, or they put them online now, right? Where you can know, like, if you're a Scorpio or a Sagittarius or an Aries, what's going to happen to you today? What's your luck for today? Really, can they tell you that? That because you're a Scorpio or a Gemini or whatever, then what does that mean? They can tell you what's going on in your life today? Or what kind of person you're going to marry? Or if they read tarot cards, can they really tell your future? Let's be honest with each other. You know? And certainly the people that are opening shop on the sides of the street, right? Should I tell you guys a funny joke? You guys remember when I had the business, the before my shop burnt down, when I had the auto mechanic shop, Witch Doctor? There's the sign for it right there, Witch Doctor Automotive. I used to get calls every now and again from people who were looking for a witch doctor. Somebody to solve their problem. You understand what I'm saying? Right? Most of the time, I'd tell them, nah, we fix cars, not people. Right? But sometimes, if I didn't have anything to do, and if I was feeling mischievous, then I would take the call and they'd say, witch doctor. You know, one person called and said, witch doctor, I've got pain all over my body. Can you feel it? Now with that one, I told them, oh, we fix cars, not people. But one time a girl called me, a young lady, she called me. She said her boyfriend, someone put a spell on him. And he cannot sleep at night, and he cannot pay attention to his work during the day. And what can we do to protect them? I said, okay, number one thing you have to do, because I don't know what spell was put on him. So we have to do things that will protect him and you completely. She said, okay. I said, okay, number one thing, all of the unclean animals that they have in the Bible, because the unclean animals, the haram animals that are in the Bible, it's the same as the haram animals that's in the Quran. You understand what I'm saying? So I told her, all of the unclean animals in the Bible, stop eating them. She said, okay. And I said, okay. Anytime you go to the bathroom, you cannot wipe with just toilet paper. If you go to the bathroom number 1, I told her, or if you go to the bathroom number 2, then you have to wash yourself with water first. This will clean you and purify you and protect you. She said, okay, I understand. Right? So then I told her, look, if you get your menstrual cycle, or if you and your boyfriend should have intercourse, then you have to take a special bath, and this is going to purify you and protect you. She said, what's the bath? I said, first, pure water from the hose. You wash your head and your neck. And then, after that, you wash your entire right side. And then after that, you wash your entire left side. I'm telling her how to make what? Ghusl, right? So then after that I say, so whenever you do this, you have to make that special bath. She said, okay, yes, I understand. I said, next, and finally, no more, you have to tell your boyfriend, very important. I forgot I told you to tell her this one. I told her that, I forgot to tell you, I told her this one when I was talking about going to the bathroom. He cannot urinate standing up anymore, because no najasat, no unclean things should be on his clothes. This will keep him pure and protected. And finally I told them, you have to go and find a red carnelian stone ring in silver, and he has to wear it on his right ring finger of his right hand, like, the ring that I always wear. It's recommended by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to wear that ring. All I did was tell her Islam, and she is so thirsty for answers. She accepted those answers, and it worked. Okay, because she never called back with any complaints. People are thirsty for answers. People are so thirsty for answers that they can be misguided into falling for, like we said, fake, quote unquote, religion or fake spirituality. Look at ISIS. Y'all remember when ISIS used to be in the news all the time? Y'all remember that? Them terrorists? Is that really Islam? Let's be honest. Is that Islam? No. At all, chopping off people's head, locking them up in a cage and setting them on fire, killing people just because they're not a Muslim. It's ridiculous, the terrible things that they were doing, right? Do you know that a lot of their fighters came from Western countries like America? Not a lot came from America. Some did go from America. A lot went from the Caribbean. Even more went from Europe. Why would people living in the West, living lives like me or you, leave and go join ISIS to chop off innocent people's heads, to do terrible things? Really, when we look at it, we'll talk about it. spirituality. We're not talking about religion yet. We've used Islam as an example. You understand me? But if people are moving towards spirituality, spiritual awareness, right? Understanding that they need meaning and purpose in life. If they're moving in that direction, do you think that Shaitan is not going to attack them? You think he's going to leave them alone? Huh? Do you think that the test will stop? Hey, because I want to be a better person, right? Do you think that the test is going to stop? No. Shaitan is still going to attack. You're still going to have Shaitan as an enemy. But I want you to recognize something, right? Shaitan's not going to attack you with your animal desires. When you're trying to live in the embrace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? When you're living a spiritual life, you're going to be tested. And Shaitan might not test you with physical things. He might try to trick you with spiritual things. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You paying attention, young lady? He might try to trick you with spiritual things. That's how we got our grandfather Adam. That's why I'm warning you about this. Adam and our grandmother Hawa, they were living in the garden, right? And they had a perfect life there, right? They didn't need anything. Huh? They had all that they could want in that garden. How did Shaitan fool them in that garden? What trick did he use to fool them in the garden? Did he fool them with something to eat? They talk about that it was an apple. Let's just use the apple as an example. Did Adam eat that apple because he was hungry? No. Okay? This apple was a symbol of something. It was a symbol of knowledge. Even in the Bible, even in the Quran, this thing that is eaten, we'll call it an apple for the purposes of our discussion. Right? It's a symbol of knowledge, ma'rifat, we say. Shaitan doesn't come and fool Adam with his stomach. Shaitan doesn't come and fool Adam with his... Shaitan doesn't come and fool Adam with something else. He comes and he gets Adam with what? Spirituality, ma'rifat. He tells Adam, if you eat this, you will know. The secrets will be open to you. You understand what I'm saying? That's how he fooled him. And that's why I say, if there's a movement towards spirituality inside ourselves, let's start there, right? Inside ourselves. And in the world, if there's a movement towards spirituality, then we was the first day of Muharram. Okay, this is the day Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam entered the land called Karbala. And we'll talk about the definition of that. You know, in this land, Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam was surrounded by enemies. They refused to give him water. On the last day of his life, at the Battle of Karbala, he was terribly thirsty. And he fought and faced every one of his enemies and never fell off his feet until the first time. You'll hear different stories about times that Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam fell. But the first time that Imam Hussein was thrown off of his feet, he was thrown off of his feet by a stone that was thrown by a man who hated Imam Hussein, disrespected Imam Hussein so much that he threw this stone at Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam and hit him in the forehead. And after that day of fighting and getting wounded and killing and seeing his loved ones killed, nothing had thrown him down. The thing that threw him down first was this stone. Do you know how that man came to throw that stone at him? Let me show you what I'm talking about, girls, so you can dig it for real, okay? This man was too poor to afford a weapon, but he wanted to participate in the battle against Imam Hussein. And so even though he didn't have a weapon, because he thought that Allah wanted him to do that he was getting blessings to do that, the people's religion had been misled. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? He went to the battle without a weapon, but with stones in his hand, because he couldn't afford a weapon. And when he threw the stone at Imam Hussein, he thought he was doing what Allah wanted him to do. This is what's so dangerous. The most terrible blow that Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam received on the day of Ashura was the one that was thrown by a man who was doing it with Bismillah on his lips. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyul azim. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.